Giving feedback in our communication is very important, as everybody wants to know what you thought. So let's dive in and have a look. Hi, I am Jen Joseph, here to release your confidence. So why is feedback important? Well, I don't think I need to ask, as you know for yourself, when you've done something, you're really eager to find out people's response to what you've done. Even if you haven't done something, if you have been present somewhere, you're probably eager to find out as well from the person who's delivered the message to you what their feedback is from the audience performance and a whole. When we're giving feedback, we're helping people to look at their roadmap and look at the new route that they are taking. So we're helping them to understand this is point A, it's still the same, but now look again, point B has changed, and here is the route. And we are showing them in the feedback the route that they had taken to arrive at the point B. And point B could be a decision, or it could be an association, or it could just be receiving the piece of information. But nevertheless, feedback is so important. Why? Because it shows an individual or a group that you've actually valued the contribution that they've made during the communication stage, and that they still remain important, that what they are looking for in terms of their own self-interest remains valid and vital to you. Feedback is important because, of course, when people know that they're valued, when they know that they have a choice, then they're more willing to cooperate, to go the extra mile. They're more willing to make the changes that are being asked for. They are more willing to do a bit of self-examination. And as we said when we were looking at non-judgmental closing, self-examination is key. But if we don't give people the tools to the self-examination, they will struggle. Feedback is important, particularly when big changes are coming. Now, big changes are not always obvious, because sometimes we can give people an indication by painting a picture of what's over the horizon, but they still haven't understood what the impact is on them. Even though you've told them what's in it for them, they still have areas of uncertainty which may create insecurity. And that's something that we don't want. We don't want, when we've communicated with people, for insecurity to grow. Uncertainty may grow, that's for sure, because nobody likes change. Even though change is inevitable, change is constant. It's the one thing we are guaranteed, is that change is constant. Nevertheless, the way that feedback will show up as being effective is when we can minimize the impact of uncertainty and insecurity, especially when we're in a period of change. The other thing that feedback will do, and this is an amazing factor about feedback, especially when it's positive and done well, is that it will create opportunities for deep dives and innovation. Now, why would I say that? Well, if you've had a chance to reflect, then what happens internally is that your beliefs, they start to alter because certain things have changed. As I said, the roadmap itself has changed. So you no longer have a vision of this particular route, you have a vision of this new route. And that enables innovation to occur because the individual is now freed to deep dive. They're not hanging on to uncertainty, they're not hanging on to insecurity, grasping onto straws because they know that you've got their best interest at heart. Now they can begin to innovate. In times of massive change, we need people to be at that stage that they can start innovating, they can start making suggestions that are viable. And this is the amazing thing. They are able, as a group or a solo individual, they are able to make viable, innovative, creative choices, plans, designs that are viable, because once we've released certain personal concerns, then the imagination is free to soar. The thing we want out of our communication is for the people we're communicating with to soar. If it's to purchase an item, we want them to be so happy that they've purchased the item that now they're free to do anything else. And believe me, as a salesperson, you can often do quite a bit of upselling at that point. If you're a CEO or a COO or a CFO, at the point when you've reassured people, when you've communicated the message, you've laid out the roadmap, you've told them about the options, people will gradually generate new options, new plans, new designs, faster routes to the end goal. So for us, when we're communicating and we've reached the end of the cycle, when we've generated options without judgment, feedback is key to a positive outcome that not only protects the bottom line, but it protects those in our organization and our personal reputation. I hope that you've enjoyed this series on communication and to look at the intrapersonal skills that are necessary in communication. And I'd like you please to just keep on reflecting on what you do, how you do, when you speak to people, how you can detach from the inward introspection of yourself and to look at how people are responding to your message, to ensure that you can track the changes with them and by congruence in the wavelength of our communication, that we're all on the same path. You'll get a lot of value out of that, I know you will. But to close, I'll say this. This is Jen Joseph, releasing your confidence. Bye for now.